Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Oyindamola Fakir, and I am the host of tonight's community program, community projects sharing. We're very excited to have you all here this evening. I can see that people are joining. So I'm going to give a little bit of time for people to join. If you don't know, you have stumbled into the Arts in Health Week, the inaugural Arts in Health Week in Nigeria. We kicked off on Sunday with a wonderful program, and I believe today is day 4. There's still a lot of exciting programs and projects that you can get involved with. Definitely check out Nahw Week NG on Instagram. If you're interested in participating, from dance to journaling to film, we have quite a lot in store for you. Now tonight's session, we are going to be finding out a bit more about some of the community projects that have been running alongside the National Arts and Health Week, and digging a little bit deeper into what it entailed to deliver the program, what the outcomes were, who the beneficiaries were. And tonight I'm actually joined by Twamsen Danan, and I'll just do a little bit of an intro onto his project before passing the mic over to him. So the program that we are reviewing this evening is Better Class Environment Community Project. And Better Class Environment is a non-governmental organization which consists of a group of young individuals who volunteer to give kids in government-owned schools a better and healthy learning environment. Now, the project that we are reviewing this week took place on the 4th of April, and it was a classroom remodeling for nursery 3 classroom at RCM Primary School, Abattoir, Jos Plateau State. The project covers a practical session on personal hygiene, good healthy living, arts and crafts, and the use of recyclable materials such as plastic bottles, egg crates, and straws. And it had a positive impact on all the students who learned about personal hygiene, various ways to practice good, healthy living in a healthy living environment, and also how to redesign recyclables to make toys, and how to use waste as well to make toys. I think I'm going to pass over here from here to Twamsen Danan to tell us a little bit more about the project, and to share some of the images from the wonderful intervention. Hi, Twamsen.
Hello, Oyinda. I am Twamsen Danan, and I am one of the team members of Better Class Environment. Unfortunately, our team leader can't be available for the session because she's having some major technical issues with her phone, so she can't be available, but I'll be stepping in her stead. Better Class Environment, as the name goes, it's about giving children a better class, more especially children who can't afford to be in schools that can provide them with a good class environment. The story that our team leader gave to us that made all of us join the team was that during the lockdown of 2020, that 2020 in a way is a blessing to a lot of people, because so many positive decisions that are making serious impact in our world today were actually made during that time. So she was watching a documentary about Chinese classes and how beautiful they are and how they help the children. And then she just thought about the fact that the children in our country, especially those who go to public schools, can't ever dream of having beautiful classes that can actually help them learn well. So during that lockdown, the government usually gave 3 days that people could go outside and do some shoppings, then go back into lockdown. So she gathered a group of young people, shared their dream with them, and that's how Better Class Environment started. And so far, we've completed 2 classes, and we're working on the 3rd class. And the way we source our funding is basically through crowdfunding. We ask people in our communities to support us in any way they can, either through money or through materials we use to do the work. And people have been helping us. So we're now working on our 3rd class, and we are almost done with the class. We are actually painting it. So soon the students will be coming into a new class that is better for them to learn. That's the goal of Better Class.
Fantastic. We'd love to see maybe some images of the last project that you delivered, and maybe you can just talk us through what's in that.
So for the National Arts and Health Week, we went to one of the classes we had already remodeled, and then we met with the kids, because since after remodeling the class, we haven't had so much contact with them. So we went this time to meet with them, and then we taught them about hygiene. And then afterwards, we did some work of craft. Let me share pictures and the video of this outing with everyone.
Jump, say jumps. Say jumps. And where do you get jumps from? From your hands. Get it out. When you put it inside your mouth like this, then they'll start entering. With their big shoe, they'll be entering your stomach. I'll show you everybody how to fish. But you easily injure yourself if you clean your nose like that, because you are scrubbing the nose and you have only cleaned the outer part of your nose and not inside. How many of you has your mommy told you that blow? Then you do. Every time inside, you want to clean their bum and do you know that you have germs on your body? Yes, Jimmy. Mommy, what did you learn? My name is Auntie Book. We're not hearing you. What's your name?
Andoma.
What's your name? We're going to go on our sales. Everyone watching. What did I do?
So that was our contact with the children, and it was awesome. We had fun. At least we left with knowing that they now know what germs are and how they can avoid having contact with germs, and even when they have contact with germs, how to avoid putting germs in their system. So that was what our meeting with them was.
Thanks. I think it's interesting that you mentioned that you had painted the walls previously. So I guess you had started the relationship with the school. You know, what was that building that relationship like with the school? What was that process like? Was it simple to get them on board, or you know, did you feel like it was a little bit of a hassle? It would be great to talk how you were able to work with them.
Okay. For working with this particular school, our project lead's mom used to teach at that school. That class okay, no, not this class. The first class we made, we remodeled, was actually the class her mom retired teaching in. And so we already had contacts with them before. So when we came up with the idea of doing this at the school was actually happy that at least they're having people come to do this for them. We know that these are actually needs that many of these schools have, but because of the system in our country, how things are not being maintained, they can't get this thing. So they easily gave us the opportunity to come and do it. And so we've been doing this. And as I said, we are actually working on the third class, and we are almost done with the class. We are painting it at the moment. So we don't have so much difficulty when it comes to the space. The difficulty we have is getting funding to do the work and getting volunteers because sometimes most of our volunteers are students. So maybe if we are unlucky for them though, that we are having a strike in our country for universities. And so they can't be available during school time, but now they are available to work. So work is faster now.
And you mentioned that, you know, the volunteers are students. Is it that you only use art students, or it's open to just young people in general?
It's open to young people in general. We have amongst us, we have people studying medicine. Like there's a pharmacist among us she's serving in Abuja now. And what she does is she handles our social media, our Instagram social media and page. We have a graduate of engineering who came to serve in Plateau State, and then he became a volunteer with us. He handles our Twitter and Facebook. We have, and then most of the secretarial work we do, he handles it. We have people from the arts, sciences, all over. Even people who are not students who are actually working, like somebody like me who is no longer a student. I volunteer with the team to be able to help. So we have everybody.
And what do you think the benefit is to those who volunteer?
Personally, being a volunteer has really helped me meet people. And I work as a photographer and a filmmaker. I took the photographs and did the video for this presentation. So it always gives me an opportunity to be able to show what I can do. And I go into spaces where people are, oh, wow, your pictures are good. Okay, how do I contract and give you the contract to do a particular event for me? Or maybe let's go into collaboration to shoot a movie or stuff like that. So through volunteering, I've been able to meet so many people and get opportunities to work. So I think that's one of the biggest pluses for being a volunteer.
So that's for you as having an artistic background. So what about those who maybe they
Science.
don't have an artistic background? What can they take?
I think for them, it's also, I'm hoping to get a scholarship to study my master's. And for others who are into the arts, this is an opportunity because, especially if you are trying to do the Chevening scholarship, they tell you need 2 years of experience. And so volunteering is part of it. So they can write in their essay that they volunteered with better class environment and did this and that. Now, even saying that during that time, they participated in the National Arts and Health Week. If you are someone who is in the sciences and you say, okay, this is what it was about, it's a very good story for your essay. So they can gain from that also. And they can also meet people within the group. Maybe you're a tailor, you can meet someone and, well, I'm a tailor, this is what I do. Okay, you're a pharmacist or maybe you're a doctor. And then just, if you have some sort of business that you sell, you can meet people in this group who would look at you based on your relationship you built here. They will trust you enough to give you to commission you to do a project for them. So I think it's a win for everybody who is part of the group.
Okay, so I'm going to move back to the students and the young people, and you know, from the really amazing video talking about germs and healthy messaging and the environment. You know, is there something that they can take further? So are there any resources that you produce or leave with them after you do the sessions?
So if you look in the video, the class, they have some pictures and stuff hanging on their wall. Those were provided by the team when we remodeled the class. So we had already put up some of these health tips on their wall that their teachers usually show to them that helps them. So we always had this in mind, even before the National Arts and Health Week. Somehow it just opportunity met, preparation met opportunity, and then we have this opportunity to show that this is what we are doing. You can even see in the video, there was a part where we're teaching them how to clean their nose and things like that. And it was quite funny how the child was. So we have those experiences, and the children, whenever, like today, as I told you, we were painting. When I was at the space today and we're painting the wall, they are already excited about, the others are like, which class is this going to be? We can't wait to get into this class. So it's just that thing about how it's affecting them and how they are pleased that their class looks beautiful. And the sciences, that's where the people in the health will tell us more about, but we are sure that what we are doing is going to really have a mental impact on them in their learning process.
Yeah, so I mean, yes, nice that you went there, because I did want to ask that, are you able to monitor or evaluate the impact of the change in the environment on the work of the students? Or is there a way you feel that you can build that into your program going forward?
I think right now that you've pointed it out, it's something that we should consider. I think we would consider that what we'll be taking from this event is we will need to find out if there's any impact, maybe in their grades, especially, and to know if before now, how was their grades? Even though it's something we're going to work on and see how we make sure that the data we'll be getting will be true, because sometimes, you know, people, in order to make you feel good, may just tell you what they think needs to. So we'll do well to find out that data we get will be good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's actually reflecting of what is.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I think it's as it seems that you've got a relationship with the school, you can look at maybe some of the other classrooms that don't necessarily have the painting in, or the next classroom that you're working on, maybe you can do a pre renovation questionnaire or something, and then post questionnaire. But one thing that I think that came through in the video is that it's not just about the grades, right? It's about how they feel. So also it could be around behavior or mood when they're in the space as well, because those are things that will influence or impact their learning.
Yeah.
So I think there's an opportunity to really, monitor three things there. So behavior, mood, and grades. So I think that's, yeah, fantastic. And, agreed that these are the things that are the opportunities for learning that the volunteers would also be able to, I guess, grow from as well. I saw in the write-up that the kids were able to recycle and make toys. What kind of toys were they working?
Should I share the screen again?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so we used egg crates to make the boats, and then straws and plastic bottles to create the sail for the boat. These are toys that the children can use in class to play when they maybe now are in the rainy seasons, and sometimes during the break they can't go outside. So this they can easily use to have fun in their class. It's just we really identify the SDGs and the idea of climate change and how plastics are really causing menace in our communities. So we thought to use these things, and what better time to reach out to children and show them that things like that you consider as waste can actually be useful to your development. It can be something you use for play, and something you can actually create something that is useful from it. So that was the goal, to use plastic and some of these things that they'll easily throw away and open up their minds to exploring it. And yeah, that's
fantastic. Is the training is it focused on that age group of primary or nursery school, or do you see yourself working with older students as well later down the line?
At the moment, we are working only with nursery classes, because that's where there is really a lot of play. Play is very important to learning at that level. So, and we want children to be in a class that they enjoy more than the class we used to enjoy. So something that when they left their uniform and they go into class, they actually feel like, yeah, this is a place that accepts us, not putting us and saying, hey, sit down, stand and sit straight, all that. But somewhere where they can actually feel okay learning. At the moment, we are working with just nursery schools, but hopefully the plan for the future is to expand. And if we can get a sustainable source of funding that can be able to help us forward into reaching out to secondary schools, then we would want to do that.
Well, I really believe in play. So even as an adult, I take play. So I'm sure you could even, definitely build it up to older children as well. So you spoke about funding, and so I guess right now you're doing more around social funding, I guess. What?
Yes, we get it through our communities, people we know. We put on social media. We ask for not just money. In our now in our second year, that was last year when we were working on the second class, we had something we call the donation fair, where we asked people to bring anything that they feel they can donate, either money or old bags, old furniture, old things that they don't use anymore in their houses. We can fix them and put them in this class. Because, okay, apart from just painting the classes, what we do also, we provide them a resting area. We have this where maybe a child is tired or maybe is feeling sick within the class, we just have this small bed which we provided for them to rest in. Also, we provide a first aid box and a reading corner that has a shelf with books where most of the who donated books, those books are being kept there. And sometimes last year when we went for one of our rounds, we read to the children from the books we had brought in. So we sat down with, not this class, the first class we worked on. We read to them. Now this second class, with the NAHW, we taught them about hygiene. So those are things we do. We also get, and then sometimes when the funding, we don't have enough, we do what we can, and then we stop and then look for monies again. We are lucky with this particular class we are working on right now. We got enough funding to be able to, that would lead us up to finishing that class. That's the painting and the furniture for the class. So I think as we go forward, people see what we are doing, and then more people are interested in providing support.
So you're currently working with one school. You see yourself expanding to other schools in the area, and have you having those conversations yet?
Yeah. So for this, what we plan to do after we finish this third class, that means we're done with the nursery section. We want to do a grand reveal to the public. We're inviting the State Universal Basic Education Board and other stakeholders in our states that we hope can be able to look and say, okay, what these guys are doing is good. Now let us make it part of our plan for fixing these spaces and then commission these guys to do the work. We've also had somebody and some other people who have come to say, hey, we like what we are doing and we would love you to come do this in our community. So we are actually having conversations with people about expanding and doing them beyond just this school. And we also hope that the fundings will become enough that we can, because most of our volunteers are actually volunteering truly. They don't get any remuneration for their work or any allowance that says, okay, hey, just for your effort, or just the transport fare. Everybody's doing a lot of things because they want to do this. But we know it's not a sustainable system, and people will not always be there if they don't get something, some sort of cash return, even though it's not payment, but just to ease their effort. So those are the things we are working on to ensure that we can have our volunteers stay with us and they are not just giving service without getting anything back in return.
Thank you so much. It's really, really interesting. I'm just also, if anybody feels they've got any questions they'd like to ask to Thompson, you are free to put that in the chat as well, and we'll throw the question out to him. So Thompson, how many people in the team, the main manager? How many of you are in the team? And I guess, how is there like a full-time structure and then the volunteers being like part-time based on when you need them? So it'd be really good to know what the structure is of the organization.
So we have leaders and we have the rest of the team. So the leaders we have, let me check my document to see how many. But basically we have 10 leaders, and we are spread across various functions. There's the documenting and social media. So we have leader who takes care of documenting, and that's where I fall in. I take care of documenting everything we'll do, and I have other volunteers under me who, I can't hear you.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so we have other the departments. That's the documentary department. We also have those under the social media department, and they have their leader. We have the welfare, those who take care of feeding and whatever else to do when we are working. We also have tailoring, and because sometimes when we go to the schools, we want to see maybe so a child's uniform is torn, we help patch it up. And also the curtains we use for our classes, that's what they handle, making the curtains and the bedspread for the bed. Then we have the painting and arts department. They handle painting of the class, the craft and all that. We have the um, our research and development team. These persons are the ones like getting to know about National Arts and Health Week was actually the task that they actually sourced this and brought it to us, and we were able to participate. And we have the head of the whole team, which is Sandra Adik, the founder of the team. And we have activity managers, because apart from just doing this, we also engage our volunteers in other events, not just come and paint the class. No, we do seminars where we sit down, we talk about careers, and we listen to each other. We go on, back in January, we went on a visit of the museum here in Jos, where we saw a lot of things. Lucky enough for us, many of us who had been to the museum before did not know that there was a new exhibition. So we came, and then there was a new exhibition this time. And it was interesting because almost at the same time we are meeting new volunteers, so that our new volunteers were able to go and see things at the museum and participate. Last year, at the end of the year, we had a AGM, where sort of a retreat, where we had a picnic, we had fun, played games. And so we have a lot of events we do outside just being better class environment. Everybody come paint the class, come fix the class, come work on it. No, we also do other extra curricular activity.
Sounds fantastic. Well done to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you join us in National Arts and Health Week, and we really salute all the work that you're doing currently to support young people, especially in Jos. And yeah, just celebrate you. And I'm opening up the floor now to any questions from the audience.